Put your hands together. Welcome to the stage. Keep going till she gets to the microphone for Wendy Wason.
Hello. Hi there. You well? This is nice, isn't it? A whole stage and everything. Hiya. I'm delighted to be here. I am. All comedians say they're delighted to be here, but I mean it because I've got 3 children and I'm not fucking home. Are we drinking? I'm having a wee glass of wine as well. I'm so glad I'm not in air traffic control. Although they're probably drunker than me. So yes, I'm here. I'm Wendy. I've got 3 kids. I've got a husband, quite like them. Not every day, obviously. My husband and I have been together quite a while now, and I'm at that stage of marriage where I enjoy annoying him as much as I enjoy making him happy. Are you guys in that situation? Because you know how to do that with somebody you love, don't you? Because every day I'm like, yeah, I could put the plate in the dishwasher straight. Or I could put it in a wee bit wonky with one other cup, right? Put it on the hottest wash and ruin his whole week. There's so many ways to annoy the one you love. I like to walk into the living room, just turn up the radiator and walk straight back out again. You know what I did yesterday? Yesterday I finished the last packet of crisps in a multi-packet. Oh yeah. Put the empty packet back in the cupboard and just sat back. Waited for him to lose his shit. Oh, it's amazing. Although I've had a bad week this week. My kids bought me these lovely trainers that I was quite giddy with. They're Adidas Sambas. They bought them for my birthday. Quite excited about them. And then who rocks up with them this week? Fucking Rishi Sunak. So now I'm going to have to burn them. Adidas Sambas or Adidas Sunaks don't sound quite as appealing, do they? And of course he's wearing them to be relatable. To be relatable. I don't want my Prime Minister relatable. I want him competent. And I want him, like, intelligent and empathetic and preferably not a multi-millionaire. That's my politics out the way. What I normally do is I come on stage and slag off my children. So are we up for that? My children are at the age now. Do we have any parents in? Give us a cheer. Yeah. Oh, you sound quite, you're like, oh, yeah, we're parents, but we're not home either. You're quite excited, aren't you? I can tell. My kids are 22, 19 and 12, so they're at the stage of life where I'm thinking about lying about their ages as well as my own. And I kind of think of my children like the Taliban and I'm America, right? And I've taught them everything I know, and now they're using all my skills against me. It's quite tough bringing up teenagers. I don't know about how old your kids are, but bringing up teenagers right now is like, they're just constantly showing you TikToks and videos. And my daughter actually put her phone in between my face and my phone to show me a TikTok that she deemed funnier than what I was already watching. She's like, what are you doing? And then they'll be showing me some TikTok and like, oh, look at this, Mum, look at that. And I'll say, oh, who's that? Is that a friend of yours? And they'll be like, no, Mum, it's an influencer. Don't mock me. I taught you how to use a fucking spoon. They're so rude. And also in my house, the laugh is king, right? The laugh is king. I'm like, Mum was really cross that you said that, and I'm going to tell you off just after I've written it down in my notebook to tell everybody else later on at work. And like, we were sitting at breakfast the other morning, and my son Max goes, I heard some strange noises coming from you and Dad's room in the middle of the night. And I was like, all right. And my husband said, I was tickling your mother. And my son goes, with your penis. That's not okay, is it? It's not okay. It's not okay. But I do quite like them. I like my husband. I'm happily married, but I'm not happily married every day. Do you know what I mean? Some days I'm just married. Some days I'm only just married. And the shit that annoys you about your husband, you're like, oh. He's like, what are you annoyed at? And I was like, you're just breathing really loud. He's like, when? Sorry, I'm sorry about that, but I do like, and also the kids, like, you bring your kids up according to what you know. And with baby number 1, my daughter, who's 22, I've made her neurotic. because I didn't have a clue what I was doing. So whenever she got a temperature, she was straight up to A&E. I was so nervous about it, because you go to all these antenatal classes to learn how to stand during the birth and how to breathe during the birth and what drugs to ask for during the birth. And then you have the baby and you're on your own. And like, I remember not even being allowed to hold the baby in hospital. You have to push it around in a fish tank. You're not allowed to hold the baby in the hospital. And I remember we got her back, and we put the car seat down. We were just like, what now? And whenever she slept longer than 3 hours, I'd like have a mirror underneath her nose going, she's still here. Have we broken her yet? So she's completely neurotic. Baby number 2, I was slightly more chilled with him. Whenever he got a temperature, I'd just sponge him down, give him some Calpol, put him back to bed. When baby number 3 gets a temperature, we all sit around toasting marshmallows on his forehead. We don't care. He's the 3rd child. Honestly, he's bringing himself up. Baby number 1, when I left her with a sitter, I was like, there's my number, there's my mom's number, there's my husband's number, there's my sister's number. Baby number 2, I would give him my number and leave. See, tonight, I was like, fucking Google me. And don't call me unless you see blood. I'm out. I feel so bad for him. He's like, Mama, what was my first word? I don't know, mate. I've documented everything for my daughter. First step, first smile, first tooth, everything. My son, he was like, what was the first word, Mum? I was like, I wasn't there, maybe help. I'm flicking through baby magazines going, cut that one out and put in this baby book. It looks a wee bit like him. In fact, is there anyone in here who's the 3rd child in their family? You're the 3rd child? Yeah, at the back. Is there any photographs of you in the house, sir? Is there really? That's not true, is it? I've got 1 million photographs of my daughters. I've got none of my youngest, honest to God. But I do quite like them. And I'm also, like, my eldest is 22, my youngest is 12, as I said. So, like, at 50, and being the mother of a 12-year-old at 50 is very different to being the mother of a 12-year-old at 40. I used to be able to sneak up the stairs to see if they were still awake or reading books or on their iPads, but now my knees crack like maracas. They give my location away. They can hear me coming. Getting older is rubbish. I have to say it. Like Claudia Winkleman, she's played a blinder putting her makeup on with a crayon since she was 20. Because it looks like a choice. I'm putting my eyeliner going, I think there's an eye there. That'll do. That'll do. It's a nightmare. And also I know now that Cinderella is actually a story about a woman in her 50s going out for the night. She's got about 4 hours before the Spanx expand and everything just falls to bits. She was like, I've got to go home now. People can see what I look like. It's horrendous. And also this week, right, I thought I was aging quite well. I thought I was aging really well. And I thought, I'm doing all right. I'm 50, but I'm all right. And I went to the optician on Monday, and I'm not legally allowed to drive without glasses. I was like, oh, shit. And I put the glasses on the optician gave me, and I was like, oh, my God, I look so old. And the optician said to me, he giggled and said to me, wait till you get home and see how dirty your house is. And he's right, it's filthy. I just couldn't see it. I think it's like house and garden. It's a fucking heap. I had no idea. So yeah, but also, as women, we get so much crap for aging. We're not meant to age. Women are not meant to age. The alternative is preferable to aging, which is death. We've got to fight the 7 signs of aging. I don't know what the 7 signs of aging are. I think they might be like repeating yourself, age spots, wrinkles, repeating yourself, a sudden fondness for Coldplay, checking to see if eggs are broken in the supermarket before you buy them. Also checking house prices wherever you might be, just in case. I didn't do that in my 20s. Now I'm like, well, I'm in Margate, I'm not going to buy here, but I might just check and see what we could get. It's bizarre. It's so bizarre. I know, but it's nice to get out and about again. We were just talking this morning about, do you remember lockdown? We've all moved on really quickly from that. We're all like, yeah, it didn't happen, it's fine. And we're like, nah, but it did. It did. And at some point in time in our lives, our grandchildren would go, Nana, Papa, were you around during lockdown? Because I would say to the kids, oh, it's history in the making. They were like, well, we hate history. Okay, great. But we are, when it's history. And then our grandchildren are going to go, Grandma, what was it like? And we're going to say, oh, well, first of all, we ran out of toilet roll. And then we ran out of pasta. And then we ran out of flour. Right. And then we all started making sourdough. Ah, what's sourdough, Nana? Sourdough's bread that nobody likes. And then we had to sneeze into our elbows and we said hi to each other with our elbows. It sounds like a toddler was making up the rules, didn't it? And then we had to wash our hands for 20 seconds and sing a song that we liked. And then we're all thinking, who wasn't washing their hands? And then Boris got COVID. We're like, And we all did what we were told. Well, every Thursday at 8 o'clock, we stood in the doorstep and we clapped for the NHS. And we got quite judgy on the name. Well, number 14 aren't out tonight, pricks. Did they want a pay rise, Nana? Yeah, but we didn't give them one. We clapped. What's the NHS, Nana? Never mind. Never mind. Don't shoot the messenger. And also, like, homeschool. Do we have any teachers in tonight? You're a teacher. What do you're all teachers. Are you all? Don't. We're not together. God forbid. Don't make us make friends. So you're a teacher. What age group do you teach?
From 4 years old, 18,
All the way through. So 4 to 18. So all children then. Okay. Quick maths. And yourself? Secondary school. So they were very different experiences, weren't they? So homeschooling was a nightmare for I thought I was going to be a great teacher, right? And I went from a working mother to a cook, a cleaner, a teacher. It was a nightmare. I had to spend time with my own family. And then I had my single friends showing off about how bored they were at lockdown. I was like, I haven't had a minute to myself. And I was like, teachers should be on £1 million. Because I swear to God, I was just like, I thought, I'll be like Mary Poppins teaching. Let's make learning fun. By the end of it, I'm like, write it down! I was so awful. And my son's like, Mummy, I just want to be taught by someone who doesn't swear. Well, good luck with that, you little shit! I'm not proud. I am not proud. And it was a very different experience for the older ones, because my wife, I could hear I'm from Scotland, that's what the accent is, but my kids are growing up in London, so they talk like that. My mum's fucking delighted because she's a Scottish snob, right? And in Scotland, the class system works like this: working class, middle class, upper class, English. The English in Scotland are landowners. So my mum's delighted at her grandchildren saying like, Mummy, can I have a glass of water? I kind of feel like the hired help. Like Downton Abbey in my house. But yeah, they're teachers. We'd be like the senior school kids where I could hear them lying in bed doing biology, and their teachers are like, doing biology sounds like I meant something different, but I didn't. Pervert of my kids, what are you up to? It's dark days. Inside thoughts, Wendy, keep them in. But I could hear their teachers going, can someone turn your camera on so that I know that you're there? And then the little ones were just so delighted for some contact that wasn't their family. They were just screaming down the Zoom lesson, weren't they? We've got a cat! Mum's in the shower! Our daddy's left us! And their poor teacher's like, can you put yourselves on mute? And also, I think lockdown was the time where loads of parents found out that maybe the teacher wasn't the problem. How dumb are the children? We should have checked that before we did the Brexit referendum. God almighty. And also, the drinking. Did we drink? Jesus Christ, it's getting to 10 o'clock in the morning. I was like, crack open the rosy, it's a driving wine. 10 a.m. If we think the country's in a state at the moment, in 30 years' time it's going to be run by people who were homeschooled by day drinkers. It's a shocker. And I read recently that alcohol consumption in the UK during lockdown went up by 22%, right? Unless you had a child. And then it went up by 33%. And I've got 3 kids, so that's a 99% increase. and my alcohol consumption. Again, quick maths. And I did my best to keep businesses afloat. Is it my fault that we're all independent wine merchants? No. And I did that thing. So I liked doing comedy. I liked chatting to folk. And then I did a couple of gigs online, and they were like, I'd be like, so what do you do? And they'd be like, buffering. I'm like, oh, fuck this shit. I'm not doing this. So then I did what Rishi suggested. I retrained and went to work for a tech firm. Anybody work in a corporate, I'm going to say, anyone working in a corporate environment? I'm in St. Margaret's, aren't I? I'm going to guess there might be one or two of you who work in a corporate environment. You guys look like you might work in a corporate environment. What do you guys do? Are you all together?
Yeah.
Okay. No judgment here. I'm just, you like, I love this job. It's the only job in the world. You ask people a question like, don't fucking say, don't tell the comedian. I'm not going to ask you a question and call you a prick. I'm happy to be out of the house. What do you do?
I work for the BBC.
You work for the BBC, so kind of corporate. There's a whole different vocabulary though, because someone said to me on my first day, Wendy, can you get that to me by COB? If you tell me what COB means, I will do that. I didn't know at the close of business. And also, I got told, one of the girls said to me, don't worry, Wendy, I know it's going to be worthwhile because I've got buy-in from key stakeholders. What does that mean? She said, it means the important people agree with me. Well, just say that then. And then I got to one of my assistants said to me, I was like, somebody said, can you populate these slides? Is what you're asking me to do legal? Because it sounds like something I should be bringing to HR, but apparently it's not. Apparently it means just fill in the PowerPoint presentation. And then I got told, don't call it a PowerPoint presentation, Wendy. Everyone will know you're over 40. Call it a deck. Okay, I'll call it a deck. So yeah, then I did that for about 6 months. I was like, fuck that. I was just praying for lockdown again. Then else. And keeping a relationship going during lockdown was hard as well because obviously, the kids were in the house 24/7, and having sex with my husband, and I was like, I remember one day going, let's have sex in the day. Let's have sex in the day. Because sex in the day when there are children in the house is as exciting as sex when you're a teenager and your parents are in the house. But with the added thrill of potentially messing up someone's head forever. So I was on top and I had my eyes open. Had my eyes open because for a special treat I thought I'd look at him. Pretend I didn't see that. Anyway, I had my eyes open and all of a sudden my husband's face fell and I was like, what's wrong? And our youngest had snuck in and was tickling his feet. But if there's any health visitors, I just made that up. So yeah, that was hard. And also I thought in lockdown I was getting more adventurous in bed because in my 20s I'd be like spit or swallow, spit or swallow, spit or swallow. And during lockdown I was like swallow or wash the sheets. Hate housework. It was so tricky. It was a tricky time. I'll tell you a little bit more about the kids. So I'll tell you a story about Bella because Bella started drinking. Bella's quite I'm from Scotland, my husband's from Ireland, we like a drink, it's safe to say we like a drink. And Bella was going to a party and I was thrilled to bits. I was like, you going to have a drink at the party? You going to have a drink? Well, are you going to have a drink? And she's like, Mum, drinking's not cool anymore. I was like, yeah it is, it's fucking cool. I drink. She was like, don't worry Mum, I'm going to go to this party. And I said, but keep an eye on how much you're drinking because you don't want to be the girl that's so drunk she's falling over and breaking things because you don't get invited back. You're nodding like a professional. Don't be a girl who gets so drunk that she gets sick and her friends have to look after her because that's not cool for anyone. Don't be the girl who's so drunk she's crying on the stairs because that's Mum. Got that one covered. And I said, what are you going to drink? She went, don't worry, I'm going to stick to Baileys and champagne. Yes, my people. I was like, you're going to vomit. So I gave her some Prosecco because we're not animals. And that's the weird thing about having adult children because I had a really healthy alcohol problem going on when my children were little. Because I could put them in their cot, sing a couple of bottles of wine, nobody was going anywhere. I knew where they were. Now I have to stay sober at the weekend in case someone needs a lift. You guys in the same difficult situation? What the fuck is that shit? Anyway, off she goes to this party and I'm parked outside. I was excited to see what I was going to get. What was that? You agree with me? Is it true? Yeah. You're like, Uber. I'm like, I'm not put my Uber out the frying pan into the fire. I'm not going to put my 22-year-old in an Uber. Anyway, I got distracted, and I will do because I'm halfway through a sentence, got no idea what I'm on about. Party. So, I turn up at this party to pick her up, and it was brilliant, right? There was one kid face down on the lawn. There was one kid thrown up into a bush. I was like, I wonder what I'm going to get. Isabella runs down the garden path, jumps in the passenger seat. She's like, hi, Mum. I was like, did you have a drink? And she got out her iPhone notes, and she'd had 3 glasses of champagne and 1 fruity cider. I was absolutely mortified. I was like, you get your arse back in there and try harder. That's what we have before we go out, Isabella. What are you playing at? Be less ashamed if she told me she wanted to be a prostitute. Honest to God. Right, I've got to go. That's my time. You've been lovely. I'm going to go away home and start the dishwasher on. Have a good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, Wendy Wason.